Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Demi with Single Mom REI. Just coming to you, actually sitting in the car, watching my girls play at this kind of a water, I don't know, it's like a water fountain downtown where I live, and it's raining, it's hot out, so we just came out to kind of cool off a little bit. But I wanted to do a quick video. A thought came to my mind. I said, you know what, why not share with everyone how I got started? And I would start off by saying it was super scary, as I think it would be for most people starting out, trying to buy property and become a real estate investor. Big deal, right? You're taking on more debt, depending on how you do things. You're leveraging the bank. So you have these loans that you're taking out, and it can be really scary. On top of that, you're learning as you go. I know I did. But what really drove me was I was working at a particular place, and I had been there since I was 21 years old. Okay, so I mean, my entire adult work career was at this particular place, and it was a very toxic environment. Really didn't care for it that much, but I was excelling. I've always been a hard worker, always been very dedicated to my work, very passionate about what I was doing. However, I felt so guilty leaving my kids every single day. You know, I would come home from work. I would get to work at 6:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't get back home till 5:30 at night. And it was just so difficult. It was just really difficult for me, you know, just every single day, every single summer, you know, it was just really tough. And I didn't like having to work under these individuals that were really toxic. My boss that I worked under for over 10 years ended up getting fired. And I mean, it went from bad to super bad. And I just made a conscious decision before that even happened. It was like, you know what? I'm not going to spend my entire life living under someone else, or under an employer's thumb. You know, I watched several people get terminated and just walked out of the building after putting in, you know, 8-9 years of service, and then, you know, they make one small mistake and that was it. You know, they were out on their butts. And so I just made a conscious decision, especially being a single mom, that I couldn't take that type of risk where I didn't have any other backup plan, no other means of financial security for me and my girls. And so I made a conscious decision. I said, you know what? I refuse to live my life like this. I refuse to be scared that, you know, someone somewhere doesn't like me, or, you know, can just pull the plug on my financial security just like that, you know? And so I began the journey. I worked in the beginning in 2016. I was actually in college, and I was working on I was gonna be working on my master's degree, and, you know, in business. And I'm like, okay, I'll get my MBA and I'll work my way up the chain. It just hit me. This is not what I want. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be working under someone. I don't want to be in this corporate rat race any longer. You know, I want to start working my way out of this place, you know. And so I began to work on this goal of owning real estate, and I worked, no joke, 7 days a week at one point. I was working 7 days a week, and I had 3 different jobs. How did I do it? I don't know. I would wake up, I would work my daytime job, and let's say on a Friday or even weekdays, I would get off at like 5:30 at night, and I would go directly to this other position that I had at another employer. And then on the weekends, I had another job. And I did that. I did that probably for several months, where I worked 7 days a week. And actually, I worked at least 2 jobs for about 2 years. So I worked really hard, because at that time, it was all based on what money I could save up. You know, I knew I had to save that 20% down, or 20 to 25% down. And so I worked really hard to get about $20,000 saved. And of course, I still had other bills and responsibilities, but I worked really super hard. But the entire time, even when I felt like giving up, I walked around with this journal. And I would open that journal up, and I had my reasons why listed there, you know. And I even went so far as to list what my life would be like if I didn't accomplish this goal. You know, I would be that girl that have to work 2-3 jobs just to have that extra money to do things with my girls, or to have that extra money to be able to do, you know, things that I wanted to do. And you know, not being able to take vacations with my kids without asking someone for permission. You know, can I take a week off? And you know, sometimes you come back to these places and they really don't like you taking so much time off or whatever, and it's kind of frowned upon. And so I wrote that stuff out in my journal, and I would look at it all the time. Another thing that I did was I read that Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich was like a life-changing book for me. That really helped me to kind of narrow in on the concept that he had as far as journaling and seeing what you want and being definite about it, definite plans, definite purpose, things like that. But I worked really, really hard for several years, and then once I got that $20,000 saved, I had a realtor that helped me, and we shopped around. I had an MLS. You know, he would email me different houses on the MLS, and he would send me those houses and everything. And then I found the one. It was a duplex. It was actually a single family home with an in-law suite in the back. And this particular owner owned the house for like 25 years, and he paid the house off. He owned it outright, but he had an elderly father, and he was going to be moving in with his elderly father temporarily to take care of him. And so he was selling the house for like $37,000. I think it was like 40. I think it was on the MLS for like 40,000 or something like that. And I put an offer in at like 35, and I ended up getting it for 37.5. It was incredible. I was so excited. And I mean, the house is in good shape. It's a nice looking house in a decent area. It was let me see. So it's 2-bedroom in the front, and then it's like a 1-bedroom loft in the back. And once I bought this thing, I mean, I bought it with like maybe somewhere around $16,000. And then I had like maybe, I don't know, $4,000 to play with. And of course it needed some work, but I made the calls, I researched, I found different people, and I just made it happen. It was just like, I had to make this happen, you know, and I figured it out. And I limped this house. One of the in-law suite was like, the second floor was totally unfinished. It was just one big open space. And when I bought it, the girl that was there was paying dirt cheap. I mean, she was basically only paying around $500 a month. And, you know, I knew that I was going to have to refinish that second floor, but I did not get a chance to refinish it for, I want to say 17, almost 2 years after owning it. It took me a while. You know, I went through a couple evictions because it wasn't in tip-top shape. You know, I kept getting tenants that weren't top-notch tenants because the property wasn't in the best shape. And so finally, you know, after a couple years of owning it, I was able to figure out some loopholes to get some more capital, and I was able to put money back into it and do about a $5,000 renovation on it. And now it's in beautiful shape, and I got an awesome tenant in there. I mean, awesome. Best tenant. Pays her rent. She appreciates the property, and I make sure that you know, they're well taken care of. So I want to encourage you today, just a quick video just to encourage you and tell you, even if you don't have all the resources, even if it doesn't look perfect in the beginning, don't let that scare you from moving forward. Don't let that make you shy away from pushing forward, you know, buying that income property. Just do your research. Know the ins and outs of the game as much as you can. And once you're invested, once you have the money in, once you have skin in the game, you got the property, I'm telling you, you will figure out the rest. It will be some tough days. It won't be simple all the time, but you will figure it out. And I'm telling you, it is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I'm in a place now where I don't have to work if I choose not to. That was one of my biggest goals. And it feels so good just to be able to spend time with my girls and, you know, be able to just give them the attention that they need. So Again, I just want to encourage you, you guys, don't give up on your dreams. If this is your dream to be an investor, to be a real estate investor, you know, use your resources. YouTube is awesome. Barnes and Noble, your local library, and me. You know, if you got questions, make sure you comment down below. You know, ask questions. I will make every effort to answer everyone's questions. And, you know, you have me as a support system, and we can support each other. You know, that's what we're here to do. So thanks for stopping by. It's Demi with Single Mom REI, and you guys get out there and make it happen. Have a great day. Bye.